Welcome to This Explainer. Look, we're diving right into a monumental leap in the world of artificial intelligence today. We're exploring a core paradigm shift that is actively, and I mean right now, transforming the digital workplace. We're talking about the massive leap from AI that simply talks to you to AI that actually works for you.
Let's be real for a second. Are you tired of micromanaging your AI? I mean, think about it. You ask a chatbot to write a report, but first, you got to feed it the data. Then you have to ask it to summarize that data. Then you prompt it again to format that summary into an email. You're constantly holding its hand through endless step-by-step prompts. Honestly, it feels less like having an assistant and way more like training a super enthusiastic intern who basically needs you to chew their food for them. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the leap from assistant to agent, unpack how these AI agents actually work, and discuss building custom AI agents. Then we'll take a look at Copilot and Grok in action, and we'll wrap up with the era of guided autonomy. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, from assistant to agent, the evolutionary leap. This leap really comes down to the fundamental difference between creation and action. An AI assistant, it's reactive. It requires those step-by-step prompts and focuses primarily on creating content, like drafting an email or generating an image. Think of it as that intern we just mentioned, brilliant at creating but kind of useless without constant, highly specific direction. An AI agent, on the other hand, is proactive. It's driven by overarching goals and focuses on executing multi-step workflows. It acts way more like a reliable employee. You hand an agent an objective, and it takes the initiative to plan the tasks, make the decisions, and actually achieve the outcome on your behalf. We're basically shifting from content generation to goal-driven execution.
And if you check out this spectrum, moving from left to right, you can really see the progression. We start with simple chatbots that just respond to text. Then we move into the assistant phase, which holds a little bit of context. But look over at steps 3 and 4. We are moving rightward toward agents and autonomous systems that actually plan, use tools, and operate independently to hit objectives. We're moving away from systems that just respond to us and arriving at systems that work for us.
Moving on to Section 2, how AI agents actually work. The engine of autonomy.
So let's look under the hood for a minute to see the engine driving this autonomy. How do these things actually function? Well, there are 3 technical pillars, and honestly, they map perfectly to how a human works. First up is planning. When you give an agent a complex goal, it breaks that high-level objective down into smaller, structured, manageable steps. Second is memory. Unlike a basic chatbot that completely forgets what you said 5 minutes ago, an agent maintains persistent context. It remembers prior outputs, your specific preferences, and the constraints of the task across the entire workflow. And third, and this is a real game changer, tool use. The agent can interact with external software, APIs, databases, or even web browsers. It bridges that gap between digital reasoning and real-world action.
To put that into perspective for your daily workflow, the real-world difference here is massive. A traditional generative AI task looks like what you see on the left. Draft a sample email summarizing sales. You're just asking for an isolated piece of text. But an agentic goal? That looks like the right side. Gather CRM data, write the weekly sales briefing, and route it for approval. The agent is built to achieve the whole final outcome. It uses its tools to grab the data, its reasoning to write the report, and its planning to send it off to the right person.
Section 3, building custom AI agents, tailoring AI to your workflow.
Now, these agents aren't just generic tools sitting out there in the cloud anymore. We are officially in the phase of building custom agents tailored directly to your specific workflows. We're talking about agents configured around your company's particular data sources, your rules, your procedures. Imagine a sales agent that automatically pulls CRM data and meeting transcripts to prep account briefs before you even ask for them. Or an HR agent that doesn't just regurgitate a dusty handbook, but actually drafts custom onboarding checklists based on specific company policies. Operations agents can literally sit in on your meetings and automatically turn the outcomes into tracked tasks and project timelines. Custom agents become profoundly useful because they're deeply connected to internal organizational knowledge. They know how your business works.
Okay, Section 4, Copilot and Grok in action, real-world agentic platforms.
Moving from theory to reality. Take a look at the Microsoft Copilot agent store here. The absolutely crucial takeaway is that we no longer need a single, generalized, jack-of-all-trades assistant. Instead, you can discover and select highly specialized digital workers. You've got prompt coaches, idea coaches, learning agents, workflow agents. It's a workspace where you can essentially hire specific digital talent to handle dedicated functions within your business. It's wild.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the contrast in how these systems display their agency. On the left, we have a specialized Copilot interface, an L&D training analytics agent built for a very specific organizational purpose. But on the right, we see something incredible from the XAI Grok ecosystem, an interface that literally says agents thinking. This is pulling back the curtain on the back end. Grok is actually utilizing multiple internal agents working together to process a single prompt in a highly structured way.
So, let's break down what that agent's thinking really means. It's using what's called a multi-agent iterative loop. It's just like a human team, right? You have a planner agent that figures out how to tackle the problem. You have a solver agent that executes the work, maybe writing the code or pulling the research. And then, and this is vital, you have a critic or verifier agent that actively checks the output for errors or inconsistencies. It is essentially an AI whose entire job is to tell the other AI that it's wrong before the result ever even reaches you. Plan, act, review, refine. This collaboration leads to vastly higher quality, reliable outputs.
Finally, Section 5, the era of guided autonomy. Your new role as an AI manager.
Okay, so with all this capability, agents talking to agents, pulling data, routing emails, are we just handing over the keys to the machines entirely? Absolutely not. We need to define a critical concept here, and that's human in the loop. If you have any of those sci-fi fears of AI completely taking over, you can go ahead and set those aside. True, practical workplace AI operates on guided autonomy. Most useful agents today operate within strict boundaries, specific permissions, and clear approval steps. They do the heavy lifting of the workflow, the gathering, synthesizing, drafting, but you, the human, review, guide, and approve the actions before anything is finalized. You maintain the oversight. You are the manager. The AI is the operator.
There's a quote from the source material that hits the nail right on the head. AI is evolving from systems that work with us to systems that work for us, autonomously. That's exactly it. We are right in the middle of this evolutionary leap from being simple consumers of AI to becoming true managers of AI systems.
Which leaves us with one final, incredibly important thought to close out this explainer. The tools are here. The agents are ready to go. So the real question is, are you ready to step up, stop micromanaging with endless prompts, and start truly managing your AI? Thank you so much for joining me today. I highly encourage you to look at your own workflows this week and find exactly where your new digital workers can start taking the wheel.